Joining me now to discuss this more is Gerard Celente, director of the Trends Research Institute. Mr. Celente, first it was Greece, now these violent protests are spreading to Ireland and Romania. Are these isolated incidents, or is this indicative of something bigger, maybe something that could even happen here in the United States?
Well, as I said last week, this is just the beginning. What you saw in Greece, I said was going to spread worldwide. I guess you could call this Workers of the World 2.0. Everyone knows what's going on. The banks are getting bailed out, and the people are being punished to pay for it. It's as simple as that. You know, as I've said this slogan as a Bronx guy originally, when people lose everything and they have nothing left to lose, they lose it. And these people, there's nothing to lose but everything. They don't have jobs. They're being taxed to death. They're being asked to suffer austerity measures to bail out the banks. Of course they're going to revolt. What would one expect?
And, you know, there's been a lot of speculation about what specific country is next. We've been seeing a lot about Japan, one of the world's largest economies, on the brink of a crisis. And today, Spain announced budget cuts similar to those that prompted the violence and outrage we saw in Greece. What do you think specifically is going to happen next?
Well, it's tough to pick which one. Highly unlikely in Japan, more so in Spain. There's a 20% unemployment rate in Spain. You're looking at young people between the ages of 17 and 25. It's over 50%. They have nothing to do with a lot of time on their hands, educations that are useless, and becoming more and more angry each day as the atrocities continue to grow. This is unprecedented. It's the greatest bank robbery in world history. And the banks are doing the robbing. The people are not going to tolerate it.
And Mr. Celente, are we at the point where people are so angry that nothing will be able to calm them down? Is there anything that can be done to stop all this madness? I mean, it seems like governments are taking these measures to supposedly prevent even worse financial calamities. Is it at the point where any action by the government will be perceived as suspicious?
Who's the government? Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, the Deutsche Bank bandits, The Credit Suisse swindlers? Who's the government? They keep coming up with this logic that if they don't get bailed out, if the banks have to take a haircut, that's white shoe boy language for taking losses, then the whole world financial system will collapse. Let them take their losses. Greece is going to default on part of their debt anyway, if not all of it. They made a bad bet. The creditors have to lose their money. And until that happens, we're going to see more and more violence as the people are forced to bail out the bankers.
And, you know, keeping on the theme of maybe being perhaps a little bit more specific than in some of our previous conversations, when do you think that violence is going to come across the pond here to the United States? I mean, when will all of what's going on over there translate to here, to American soil?
Yeah, it could be any trigger point, but you're seeing it with these tea parties and tax protests. The people are ready to riot. And if the economy here collapses, as we forecast it will, and you saw just a week ago we had, what, 1,000-point drop in the Dow within minutes, and of course they still don't know why it happened. So when we start seeing more and more people hit the unemployment lines, more and more austerity measures, we can't put a precise date on it. No one can. But it's in the making. It's bubbling. It's not even bubbling beneath the surface. It's on the surface.
Well, Mr. Celente, we appreciate your analysis as always.